Okay, this is my granny square cardigan, and it seems probably an unusual thing to make, but I wanted certain characteristics in a cardigan sweater that I didn't think I was going to be able to find. The purpose of this cardigan is not for warmth, obviously, because it's full of holes. The purpose is actually to stay cool. And the reason I want it is more of a cover-up for the summertime. I plan on wearing in the house just like sleeveless shirts and leggings. But I have recently lost 65 kilograms, which has left me with like loose skin on my arms and things. And so I'm really not very confident going out in that kind of outfit. And I still have a little bit more weight to lose. So the purpose is so that I can wear it over top of my sleeveless shirts and leggings whenever I want to go outside. So I wanted it to be relatively long, so it would go down into like mid-thigh length, and to be a loosely made fabric so that it wouldn't be hot in the summertime. Also, I have really sensitive skin, and so I needed it to be made out of specific materials, which would make things even more difficult to find exactly what I was looking for in the store. So this is actually the first crocheted piece of clothing that I've ever made. If you exclude things like hats or slippers, things that aren't really that don't really have to be particularly shaped very well or very precisely in order to be a piece of clothing. So this turned out pretty well considering that it's my first one. I also wanted it to have pockets, but obviously with this granny square material, making pockets out of the same thing would not work because anything I put in them would just fall through. So I took the size of 2 by 2 of the granny squares, and I made pockets out of just single crochet on the inside and outside, so anything I put in there will stay in there. It does come to about mid-thigh length, which I'm happy about. It could have been maybe 1 square shorter in the end. It's a little bit longer than, and I think that's just because of the weight of it pulls the fabric. You can see the squares are more rectangle shaped as it hangs because the gravity obviously is pulling it that way. So it ends up hanging lower than what I intended it to be when I was making the pieces the length that I wanted. Another thing that I would change if I was doing it again, I would put the pockets 1 square more forward, because the way these are is it's right exactly on my hips, which makes my hips look a little bit larger than they actually are, and that's where I still have weight to lose, so it's a little bit uncomfortable having extra bulk there. All in all, I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. I would, like I said, I would maybe make it just 1 square shorter. But it turned out pretty nice. One thing I did have a problem with, though, the yarn that I used, the label said that you could wash it in the washing machine and tumble dry. And I did wash it in the washing machine, which caused a few problems. There were a few places where one of the threads broke, and I had to go and catch all my loops and fix a couple of holes that appeared when I washed. So in the future, this will only be hand washed and laid flat to dry, no longer putting it into machines. And I hope to have many years of use out of this sweater.